What if everyone could see what we were thinking? Would the world be livable? Right now, at this very second, what if everyone could see the thoughts in your mind? Would you still be watching this video? Maybe you would, because this video will make you forget everything else and focus entirely here. What if your mother, your partner, your friends, your boss, or even a stranger on the street could all see what was going on in your mind at the same time? Would you want them to see it? Or would you want to make sure your mind was completely empty before interacting? So, could we still remain good people? People show their faces, but they hide their thoughts. What we call society rests on invisible masks. We smile, but our insides are full. We say thank you, but we are angry. We say, I'm fine, but inside, a storm rages. And because of this, friendships continue. Relationships don't collapse. Work seems to function. But what if our minds were like a glass dome, completely transparent? What if everyone could watch everyone else's thoughts, like a live stream? If you could instantly know what the person walking past you was thinking, whether they truly loved you, what they were hiding behind their smiles, then the first thing to collapse wouldn't be buildings, it would be trust. The first day, no one could speak, because words would no longer be necessary. When you approach someone, you would instantly know why they loved you, what they expected from you, when they might leave you. You would see, at the same time, what everyone passing by thought of you, whether they liked you, whether they judged you. And within the first 24 hours, most friendships would end, most marriages would collapse, most business partnerships would fail, because most bonds exist not because they are real, but because of uncertainty. The human mind is not perfect. It gets corrupted. It envies. It gets angry. It desires. Sometimes it thinks dark thoughts, but not every thought is an intention. Not every thought defines character. The human brain produces thousands of thoughts a day. Most are automatic, primitive, and unfiltered. If these thoughts were public, people would be punished for things they couldn't even face themselves. And perhaps, for the first time, we would confront this truth. People are not bad because they think badly. They are bad because they act badly. Love is partly about uncertainty. You can never fully know how much someone loves you. The heart is about taking risks without certainty, about moving forward despite the possibility of mistakes, heartbreak, or loss. Love is not about control. It's about letting go of control for a moment. But if everyone's mind were visible, who loves more? Whose heart is truly with you? Whose mind wanders elsewhere? Who has even the slightest doubt? It would all be exposed, unfiltered, bare. And then, even the smallest hesitation would be considered betrayal. Even the shortest, most innocent, most fleeting thought would be infidelity. Sometimes people just think for a moment. It passes, it goes, but that moment could leave a wound that lasts a lifetime. Perhaps this is why love would end before it even began. Because no one would want to live with someone's mind, only with their heart. No one would dare to feel. Everyone would only try to control. Yet love begins where control ends. It grows where the unknown exists. And sometimes it is beautiful, precisely because we do not know. Because love is about daring to not know, about taking a step despite everything, closing your eyes and trusting your heart. But in such a world, we would not trust the heart. We would try to escape the mind. A friend sometimes envies you, sometimes thinks they are better than you, sometimes desires what you have. Yet they still stay by your side. They help. They do not abandon you. Because thoughts are fleeting, but loyalty is a choice. If everyone's mind could be seen, no one could bear anyone else's flaws. No one could be patient with each other. And the world would become a place that leaves no room for imperfect people. Let's face it, perfection is impossible. If bosses could read the minds of their employees, if governments could see the thoughts of their citizens, crime would no longer need to exist. Thinking alone would be enough. Opposition would be crushed before it even formed. Protests would be silenced before they were spoken. Freedom would be criminalized before it was imagined. And humanity would be enslaved, not physically, but mentally. Perhaps the greatest truth we face now: we hide our thoughts not from others, but because we fear looking inward. If everyone could see our minds, we would be ashamed of ourselves first. We would have to confront ourselves. And perhaps for the first time, humans would face their own darkness completely exposed. Even though thoughts are fleeting, knowing that others see them could silently destroy us. But wait, there could also be a better possibility. If no one could lie, betrayal would end, deception would end, fake people would vanish. Perhaps the world would become more honest. But we must ask, is honesty always goodness? Or is it better that some truths remain unsaid? If everyone could see our thoughts, perhaps the world would be more transparent, but most likely lonelier, harsher, less forgiving. Because what holds us together is not always truth. Sometimes it's what remains unsaid. And perhaps what makes a human truly human is not what they think, but what they choose to do, despite what they think.